Ugh. What up? What up? What up? I am in my little hideaway, little den. Okay. Just gonna wait for some of you to come on in here. How are you? It's a winter, snowy day. I know I look a hot mess right now because I really didn't want to come on here today, but I was like, you know what? It's snowing. I can't go nowhere. I don't do the driving in the snow. Hi, Tyrone. How are you? This is my first time seeing you here. Tyrone Morgan. Oh, you got the same last name as one of my family members. How you doing? I'm doing I'm here. I'm here. It's a Saturday, snowing, can't really get out, do anything. Hi, Renee. Oh, thank you. I hope you have a blessed day as well. Yep. I was just telling my husband we gotta get rid of this little TV back here because nobody really looks at it. And it's sitting in here in my little hideaway, little den down here. I just thought I'd be more comfortable down here. I could sit back and, relax and read and listen to some music or whatever without disturbing anybody because it's carpet down here and upstairs there isn't no carpet. So when there's carpet, it keeps the sound down and the noise down a little bit. Anyway, y'all, how y'all doing? I just wanted to say, I want to just say I'm sorry I haven't been able to come back like I wanted to join this week when I had topics that I wanted to discuss, but I was just so worn out and tired when I got home. I get home really late in the evening, and this week, in the work that I do, of course, I had to do some assessments, and it was just really, 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 oh my God, breaking my heart. And I'm trying to get more parents involved in their children academically and also recruiting more children to be in our after school program for them to enrich their early learning and education. So I'm trying to get more children in that program because they definitely need it. They do. They do. They do. It's a different generation that we have a different way of teaching kids and what their curriculum is, and it's just not a good curriculum. And I told parents they need to, advocate more, knowing that certain things is just not good educational resource for their children. It's just not. It's just not. But anyway, moving on. Enough about me and the work that I do, but I just wanted to just talk about this Geronda Pace and Azarel thing. These are two women I really don't discuss much on my platform, being that they have been played the biggest part, I'm sorry, in destroying R. Kelly in his career, in his music career, and his reputation out there as far as them being involved with him as younger women or just being involved with him, period. Just let's put it as that. So I did try to do a poll on which one we thought was the most malicious, most vicious, most vindictive and craziest and manipulative and evilest among the two. And from what I see from not from what I saw from before, but what I see up to now, and the only one I could think of, I really don't think. Wait, let me say this differently. I don't think Azarel really came to know that she played some part in which she did destructive in some of the things that she did to harm herself. I don't think she really came to that part of herself yet. Which I think that Geronda has been more of the one I think has moved on. you know, I really think she's like came to recognize that she did a lot of wrong things, and she's trying to just come out and share it. I don't think she ever really wanted to see R. Kelly in this at this point in this situation. I like. I don't think she really wanna see him in jail, incarcerated, and being on this kind of public, ridicule, of his life or whatever. I don't think she ever meant for it to go this far. I don't think she ever meant for it to go this far. Um, I find the more I'm starting to hear her, because I never really listened to her much from the time this whole thing started. I never paid attention much to Geronda Pace, to be honest with you. She's one I just because there was always a lot of stuff said about her. And I guess now that things have calmed down a little bit, I think I could hear her more than I heard her from the beginning, because I didn't get a chance to really hear her from the beginning because everybody was already saying she's a liar, um, and also a lot of other things about her. So it just like kind of turned me away from listening to it. So now I feel safe, you know, to go in and to really hear her side of things, to really listen to Geronda Pace. And I'm listening to her, and from what I heard from what she said, it sounds to me that Geronda Pace is really remorseful in what she did, and she wants to come clean about it. The role she played in this takedown of Robert Sylvester Kelly. And she's always like, even from when I was listening to her from the trial, listening to Geronda, she was more trying to come clean then. Being that she was also expecting, she was on the stand, and she, you know, was expecting a child, and she was talking about how this nightmare of her life, she just wished would go away, like, I don't want to be a part of this anymore. I'm trying to move on and be a mom now and be a better person and become a new person now and just do something different with my life now. It's no longer about, the lying little, what I would say, a young, disobedient, foolish young girl that she was. She was just doing her own thing. Ain't nobody put Geronda to do nothing but Geronda. Geronda was out there running behind that man and stalking him and playing hooky from school and lying about her age. And she did. Hi, Nisimo, fighting for injustice. How are you? So I'm listening to this little, the young mother that she is. She's a young mother, and she got a kind of quite a few children now, and she's just trying to go on and have a different life now, and turn over a new chapter to her life. If she just now she came clean. She said they putting me back on trial again. I thought this whole thing was over. I went through this New York experience, and yeah, she went through this New York trial, and she spoke what she felt was in her mind or whatever at the time. She spoke whatever she felt was for her to do as far as being subpoenaed on trial. Exactly, Renee. I don't think any of them wanted him to go to jail either. And Geronda, I think, has really truly been trying to tell her truth. And people are just not trying to listen. They just so caught up on the fact, oh, she had that man locked up, lying, playing hooky from school, stalking him, da 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 da. But the more I listen to her, the more I can see she is trying to recover from what she did. She's trying to, come clean with herself and coming being realistic with herself. I'm just seeing it that way. Maybe some of y'all haven't seen it yet because y'all still stuck on her old life of the things she's done instead of seeing now she is a mother and she knows she done something wrong, hurting somebody. She knows she did played a big part in that, lying, running after, fame and fortune or whatever she was. And to be honest with you, I don't even think she was about the money. I really don't think Geronda was truly about the money. And you know why I say that? She just was looking for attention. She just wanted some attention. And the reason I say Geronda wasn't really about the money, as much as some of the other ones may have been about the money, is because she did say when she did the suit against him, she called him up to give him the money. You know what I'm saying? Or whoever. She didn't even say, "Oh, I'm gonna keep this money. You see, I'm gonna get some more money from you." She didn't even do that. You know what I'm saying? I just think she wants attention. She just was a attention seeker. She was just one of those type of girls that looking for a father figure, was looking for a daddy to take care of her. She was afraid to be at home. Something just wasn't right at home where she felt more happier playing these little girl games, a little, just trying to even, be a stupid little young girl, just being stupid and foolish and just wanting to see if she could get away with what she could get away with. So I think her thing was more of a game. Okay, more of a game, one of them little stupid little attention seekers. Now the other one, she's vicious. She's a lion, manipulative, vindictive, crazy as I don't know what. She's just an opportunist. She's a Jezebel. She'll do anything she can to, you know, for power, for for money, for fame. She's just that type of person. I was just listening to a podcast interview she was on, and she was saying, "Oh, the interviewer asked her or whatever, have you moved on in any relationship? Are you involved with anybody?" "Oh, at this time, I'm just really trying to, like really, get into myself and be with me and da 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 and not really out here to start dating right now. Why not?" And the lady asked her, "Why not? You're young, and sometimes even finding yourself, that's the road you got to take. You have to find yourself in other relationships to find out who you are." "Hey, Carolyn, how are you?" And I'm like saying, "You're still a young woman, and I think you need to get out there and get some more experience and not just get stuck in this one place of, you had enough time now to be away from Robert now to move on, to get involved with somebody else now and just stop the interviews and everything and just live a more settled, quiet life and find that place within yourself, that peace or whatever. Just quiet. You don't have to date a celebrity. Nobody has to really know who you are as Azrael Clary or whatever, the the Lolita that took down Robert Sylvester Kelly. No, you don't have to really identify your true identity as you just getting out there just to have fun as a young woman should and just go out and meet new friends and have fun. It's over. If you really, really, truly want it to be over. But to me, it sounds to me that she still wants to have some type of attachment. Exactly, Nisimo. And that's the whole thing is that what I don't understand is that I would have just like, if all of these horrible things were supposed to have happened to you through this relationship you had with this man and things like that, I would be doing as much as I can to not even try to have any kind of attachment to him, any kind of connection to him or whatever. I just want to get away from it all. But she's not trying to do that. She still wants to be somewhere somehow attached to R. Kelly. Um, and the reason I say that is because she's right now getting therapy, supposed to be that she said, in New York. Why is she getting therapy in New York? And that is where Robert Sylvester Kelly right now is supposed to be still in. Who you think the conscious got the best? Which one, AC or LP? I mean JP, Renee. I think the conscious got the best of Geronda, but I don't know about Azarel. I don't know about Azarel. Azarel still wants the attention. She still wants to be, put herself out there. So, like, why I say that is because 3 years ago, when she was on the Gayle King show, when R. Kelly was under attack, and she was supposed to have been there as part of his support team and his support system, and assisting him through all of this, her and the other one, Joy. Azrael did the most talking. Azrael was the one who was being more dramatic, more emotionally dramatic. And then on top of that, she turns around and says things about her parents. And she goes, "Oh, well, my parents and them my father's the manipulator, and he's the biggest liar." You know what I'm saying? And she was really serious about what she was saying at the time, and that he was going to try to take naked pictures of me and put it all out there that I was sleeping with R. Kelly, and I have not slept with this man when I was 17. When I first came, he told me to lie about, she was just so, like, really on point. And I don't think nobody was coaching her in any kind of way to say any of that. This was truly coming from who she was, her heart. It was truly her heart. Yeah, she was just always putting herself out there. You know what I'm saying? She didn't enjoy just that back and just kept her mouth shut. And when she was questioned, all Joy said was, "She's right. My parents have been trying to blackmail him and want money." And she told her little part. She didn't go all into the details of it, but she just said she just agreed that the parents were trying to scam R. Kelly for some money. But Azrael was just throwing everything out there. She was saying, even throwing her parents under the bus. She said they were the ones who were her father was the biggest manipulator. Her parents knew exactly where she was, and they know where she's at, and ain't nobody been holding her back. And then she comes back and do another video. You ain't see Joy doing all of that performing. You ain't see Joy out there doing stuff. Everybody say, yeah, she quiet, she sneaky, and that may be true, but still, in all, she's been loyal in some kind of way. She hasn't put him under she hasn't said nothing to him. She hasn't said anything publicly about him. Only time she came out and said something is when somebody jacked her Patreon account, and she came out to say it wasn't her, and she will not do anything to harm or hurt Robert Sylvester Kelly. And that's the only statement she ever gave publicly about that man. She is not as malicious and as vicious, and I don't think she's scheming or scamming to hurt R. Kelly in any kind of way, because there is stuff out there too, if she is, to show that she's a liar. Okay? And she was of his age anyway when she got with him, and she been out there publicly a few times defending him. Even when before he even was in custody, she was out there in places like in the park or in a room somewhere talking to in the camera to with somebody there filming her and saying, she's safe and she's okay. And her parents know where she at, and especially her father. So this is the difference between what I see between those two. Geronda Pace did some things, and I know she's been kind of like played a part too in this man's career and hurting this man's reputation out there and lying and scheming and all that other stuff. But nobody has been as nasty and as vicious is that fucking Azarel. And excuse my language for saying it, but I don't think anybody has been as nasty and as cruelest as she has. This girl publicly went on and performed so much to damage this man's reputation out there. She went on all kind of public platforms doing this stuff. She even drove to Chicago from wherever city. I don't know where she was staying at that time. That's how much I ain't been paying too much attention to her. But I know when she did that on his birthday weekend, that time when his birthday was approaching or was his birthday, she goes to the Trump Plaza to get supposedly her things, but she starts a fight with Joycelyn. Well, if it was staged or whatever, but even if it was staged or whatever, that's what she did. Okay. Then she goes and she did everything for the public to see it. She was on the Gayle King, being, on his side, defending him. Then she comes off the Gayle King show, whatever. A few weeks later, that's when I think Robert, right after that show, was taken into custody for child support or whatever. And then he comes, he came out. And then afterwards, a few nights later, the feds come and get him again. And I believe that was around July or sometime around July. And I think Joy's birthday was just about approaching at the time when he was taken in custody that night. And here come Miss Clary on, I don't know what account, I don't know what social media um she used to do that video. Was it on Instagram? It definitely wasn't YouTube. It wasn't a YouTube video. It was probably more like Instagram. She goes live and she start, going after the people that was saying things about her in the live, about how she was dressing in front of the camera and showing off these provocative outfits that she was trying on and her body enhancements and all that other stuff. So she did all of this stuff right after Robert Sylvester Kelly was incarcerated, right after the time that they did the interview with the Gayle King show and all that other stuff. Now she want to come out and show off her enhanced body parts and wear these provocative outfits, and then she turns around and cusses the people out and tell people we're talking about her and how she's so in love with this man and how this man and her, you know, are engaged. I guess she mentioned something about engagement or whatever. And she was just doing that. She was trying on those outfits because she was trying to find out what she was going to wear to go hang out and be with Joy for her birthday. But no Joy was in the camera with her. She had her own phone in her face while she doing this video. It was her recording herself. It wasn't no Joy recording her. Nobody else was with her but her. And she was cussing people out in the camera and telling folks and everything that she loves this man and that the feds are a bunch of they just trying to come at him with the same old charges. She did all of this. Then she turns around afterwards, a few months later or so, and open up her little account, Azarel on the Run or some Sugar Honey iced tea like that, and team up with some people from the other side, the opposite side, whatever. She goes to Chicago, to Robert, to the Trump Plaza, starts a fight with Joy, and just trying to destroy Robert Sylvester Kelly's property. Then turn around and just cause this whole big ruckus. Okay. Then afterwards, she goes on another platform with somebody talking about eating poopy and all the beatings that he gave her with 13, shoe sizes or 14. I don't know what size the shoes. It was something, it was kind of up there in the teens, though. She did all of that. Then she turns around. Now, like this little manipulative little lion, little heifer. That's why I said that she has done the most. Okay. I didn't see none of the others who's done the most as she has. Then get up in the courtroom and then turns around and say some more things about her mother setting it up for her to be with Robert and pretending to be her to get her to Robert. and leaving her at the Dolphin, whatever hotel, whatever, to be with Robert. And the police did a wellness check and they came to find out why she was there, what she was doing there, this, that, and the other, and had her mother confirm that it was okay for her to be there. Then turned around, her parents wanted to introduce some kind of was it her porn toys as marketing it with R. Kelly's signature or something. They wanted to make some kind of business deal or doing some marketing of porn toys for Robert's signature or sound to the toys or whatever to sell, to do whatever, whatever. So she gave all this information. She's a little lying manipulative. She even threw her own parents under the bus, okay? And even the judge even see it. And now she going on all these little interviews trying to sound like she's so normal now and she's so okay. And that she's really moved on with her life and doing so many other things that she's trying to um find her craft in and all this other stuff, trying to play that little game. But that girl is sick. She's a real evil little child. She has a lot of evil. Why don't she just come clean and just say that I set this man up and my parents played the part in it as well? And I shouldn't have done it. I should have known better. And I should have took control of my own life because I was right now at that age where I could have made some better conscience decisions for myself. So it would no longer have to haunt me when I have to continue to try to lie to make it sound like a truth, make it sound like the truth, and continue to do any more harm to myself or to this person. Why don't you just come clean with yourself? And I think people will respect it more if you did that. And at least Geronda is coming clean. At least if Geronda did come and say she lied. She stalked. She lied. If you really listen closely to Geronda instead of just like attacking her, you'll see who's the better person and who has really come to under, come to knowing they did something wrong. Geronda now became a mother. She became a wife, supposed to be married now with children and stuff like that, trying to live a new life and a new chapter in her life and really trying to overcome, really trying to get away from it. She came clean and said, look, they still want to put me on in court for Chicago. I thought this nightmare was over. I already went through that experience in New York. I don't want to continue to keep going through this. And even if I don't want to go, they still want to subpoena me. So I think she's been more honest and truly have been trying to come and tell her story. And in her own way, trying to say she's sorry for what she's done. If people will just start to listen. And I just recently just started listening to her because I was being blocked by hearing her because of everybody else judging her and attacking her. Now, Azarel, totally different thing. I tried to listen to Azarel in the beginning. I really did. But she's just doing too much. She's just doing the most. Flip-flopping all over the place. And a lot of stuff she telling is true, but a lot of stuff is a whole bunch of fabricated bullshit. Okay? That part about her parents, I could believe that. I can believe that at 1000%. But that part about Robert Sylvester Kelly beating her with his shoe, making her eat poop poop, and some of the sexual escapades she was supposed to have with him, I can't believe all of that. If anything, I think he tried to work as much as he can with her, with her career, and help her and protect her as a young woman or whatever, and it's, working he's working with. And I don't think he went as far as doing anything like having her part of any sex cults or sexual episodes with other women, other men, whatever. And anything, if she was involved in stuff like that, that was something she chose to do on her own. I don't think nobody ever forced her to have sex with them. or wanted to have sex with her, knowing that she was very young and they could see in her head she was young. And I don't think R. Kelly was that stupid to not see that she was that young. And people going to believe what they want to believe anyway. But me, I'm going to say he's innocent. But if any part of it, he probably was protective over her, probably try to help her, make sure she didn't get in the hands of certain kind of people. And sometimes he was helpless himself and couldn't even protect himself. You see, because it's just so much that go on in that entertainment world, in that in behind the scene world. You know, Kelly Price even said herself, I never saw that man bringing any minors in there or whatever, but I saw there were parents bringing their young daughters and young children into the industry. She did never say to Robert Sylvester Kelly, she said to the industry. I know. I'm good, Tia's Blunt. How are you, sis? I hope all is well with you. You too, Renee. Have a blessed day. You know, I think people need to go back and listen to Geronda. I really think people need to just listen and don't attack her. Just listen, take notes, and you could find the truth in it because she is trying to come clean with herself. Well, I mean, really, really come clean about the lies and the manipulation and the scamming and all that other stuff she did. And I don't even think she did it for money. I think she really wanted Robert to hear her, listen to her. I just think she wanted to be in control, doing stupid little girl. You know, I just think she just was being a stupid young girl, to be honest with you, and playing stupid little young girl games, and then it got serious. Okay. And as for Mrs. Zell or Azarel, whatever, I think she's just very confused, messy, manipulative, and like I said, she's very manipulative and she's an opportunist. She is an opportunist. She remind me of a family member of mine who's right now gone. They ain't even here no more. Playing games, being young and fast and manipulative, and they took themselves out. That's why I speak so much about this mental illness stuff. People can recognize mental illness, but they just sometimes be in denial. People can recognize this disease is nowhere near silent. Mm-mm. If you know your loved one is suffering with something that is not right and normal, people say it's normal, but it's not. And that child does have mental illness, and it is real. Her personality is too conflicting. There's two people inside of her, or maybe even more. Like, what's her name from Sybil? No, for real, for real. There is a Sybil because she played these characters. They say she's well, at least she's in therapy, and it's gonna come to show. I think she need to stay off social media. Me personally, I think she need to stay out of social media and stay out of the public. She just needs to go somewhere and just be in isolation to get the mental health treatment that she needs. She does not need to be in the public. She really don't. There is signs of mental illness. Hey, Georgia girl. A lot of people don't want to recognize it. They want to say, oh, yeah, she is mentally ill. There is more than one personality. And that problem was with her before it even got to R. Kelly. Hey, Sly Fox, am I coming to court? Am I'm coming to court. I wish I could, but I'm sorry, Sly Fox. I wouldn't even come up here and tell you that lie that I'll be there because I got things I have important to do here. Um, as far as my career, what I have to do with my own personal life. But I would love to hear about what's going on. And somebody is if well, it's gonna be in Chicago. I definitely know I won't be there. Now, New York, I can make a go for it, but not in Chicago. I wouldn't That's too much traveling, taking a plane. I don't want to get stuck, stranded, whatever. And traveling today is not as easy as it used to be. New York, I can easily get to New York. Hop, skip, and a jump. I don't even have to take a plane to get there. It only take me 2.5 hours, maybe the most is three. But Chicago, that's over in the mid. I wouldn't say central mid. No, I can't make that Chicago trial. No way. Not with COVID, not traveling with COVID, and then getting stuck in some airline and being held, and then the next thing my time is money. Thank you, Jake, Georgia girl. Mm. Yeah, so I was just trying to bring this awareness to people because sometimes people don't really recognize people are crazy. And they are playing they crazy is right in front of your face. You can see that this woman, Azarel, does have dual personalities. I'm trying to stay what you mean? Stay as flexible? Okay, I get it. I'm staying flexible. Yeah, you can see the dual personalities in her. The other one was crazy too. But at least she came to know herself, that one place with herself now. The other one, she's still all over the place. Mhm. Sly Fox, where did I hear this flexible stuff from? That's right. And you know what? Instead, I'm not gonna even bash her, but I'm just gonna I just like to sometimes just call it out and pray that she gets some help. And when I say help, like whoever is her therapist right now, that they are advising her to stay off social media and stay away from having any interview with anybody right now because that's not really right now the time. It's really not going to be helpful to her to do that. That's part of the healing process, like things that's might trigger you and get you offset you or whatever. Certain things is just not right for certain people. And I don't think this kind of um world of internet is the right world for her. She need to be sitting down writing a story or doing stuff like painting or maybe going in place play a piano. She got to be instrumental skills where she can play a piano and sometimes just play a piano and write songs and write down her songs. But this world is not for everybody to be in. You'll take care of me, Sly Fox. You gonna take care of me? Well, thanks, but no thanks, Sly Fox. I appreciate that, but no thanks. If I just can't take no time away from work right now. Yeah, I don't think this world got Georgia girl is really good for certain people to right now be a part of because they portray so many different characteristics like this woman Azarel has. That's a mental she has mental illness. because her personality is conflicting. It's too conflicting. She has not been the same. On every topic she's been I'm sorry, on platform she has been on, to talking to people about her, ordeal and all that. She's been switching around too much. And she still hasn't identified with some of the stuff she caused to other people. Not only did she just only hurt Robert Sylvester Kelly, but even the things she put out there about her parents, and then try to switch up about it. That don't do that sound like a person who is normal? And then the stuff she talked about as far as eating feces, do that sound like a normal person? She's just not made for this kind of world of internet. She's just not. The things she put out there, and you don't think she has mental illness. My hair look a hot mess. I got the scarf on my head, but it's gonna look a hot mess because I ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna be sitting looking ugly like this all day. I think she needs counseling. But I don't I think she is in counseling, but the thing is that whoever is her right now therapist, or who's right now dealing with her treatment right now, sessions, need to advise her not to be on social media. This is what I'm trying to say. They need to advise her that social media is someplace she should stay away from. She really needs to stay, because she was having this problem even before she even got in contact with Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly. I think it's mental illness. Both of them basically are mentally not really normal. They both seem to be a little off the rockets with themselves. They both seem off, but I think hers is a lot more severe than the other one is. Yeah, that's true. Narcotics. I don't know if she uses drugs though. If anything, medication to treat her disorder. Just like when I was not to change the subject, but the more I go into the Regina King's son, um, taking, using, committing suicide. I would say committing suicide. Some people don't want to use that word commit, but the more I dig into the story about him and his mental disorder, I'm not convinced if he took his life. If because Hollywood is weird. And that's why I couldn't be so convinced. Like, you mean to tell me with all the money, okay, that um his mom had, and also being the fact that he was always around her on his social media accounts and everything else, being at her awards, being with his mom a lot under his mother all this time, nobody recognized something wasn't right. Something wasn't, it was some kind of disorder there. That this boy, nobody could recognize something was wrong. That's, it don't seem. I mean, I never really digged into her personal life like that. I liked Regina King in her acting career and watching her perform on in movies and on television when she was a young teenager, watching her grow up there, and also seeing her perform in movies back in the days, the hood movies like Boys in the Hood, The other movie, she did Poetic Justice. Oh, she did her damn thing in that movie. She was like, oh my God. And then, other movies that she played a role in, what's his name? The Jerry Maguire, that movie as the wife to Cuba Gooding and supporting him through his football career. She was in marketing and the way she played some good roles. Now she was a great actress. The girl is bad. Everything she played, then she took it to the top. Now the girl she's one of the greatest. I mean, I would say one of my favorite of actresses um on Hollywood screen and everything else. She's one of my favorite. So I'm saying, like, having her child in her life like that, because I never really did dig that personal. I didn't even know she had a 26 years old son until I found out he killed himself. That's how much I've been involved in this woman's life. Like I never really was in her life like that. I only watched her life in Hollywood. That's the only life I knew of Regina King. I never really digged into her whole life story. Who's her mother? How many kids she had? Is she married? I wasn't that obsessed, put it that way. I wasn't even that obsessed. I'm not even that obsessed like that with R. Kelly. I'm just finding out things now about him since he's been in this been going through this legal situation of his, and then the Surviving R. Kelly and all that other stuff. And I ain't even watched Surviving R. Kelly. And I'm now starting to hear the women as they tell their side of their story. I saw snippets of Surviving R. Kelly, and I've been because I am a fan of his music, and a lot of things that he speak on in his music, I take that as him telling his story as he go along, and things he's done to help people his life or whatever. And that's how I get to know these people. I don't get all into their life story. They hold deeply all into their love life and their children and everything. And I read the album, like when I ever bought a CD of R. Kelly's or whatever, I will read his comments or his remarks or whatever. Things like that. I mean, that's the only go to his concerts and stuff and see him on an interview. But I never was digging personally in his life as far as like digging up magazines to find out what R. Kelly's gonna be at, where he gonna do, how many, his kids and everything. Of course, I knew about his kids because when I brought Chocolate Factory, when he did that album, which was my favorite at the time, Chocolate Factory, is of course I read on the original CD that something that wasn't bootleg, because the bootleg ones you ain't gonna see the comments, but the one that is originally his coming from original stuff, you get to read some things that he had acknowledgments and stuff like that on his thing. So he did talk about his family in there, giving thanks to his wife Drea and the two children that she had with him and his wife. He did mention his wife on there, and then that's how I found out he was married. Because he never really got into his life as far as like putting too much of his personal life in the public. And Regina King, being that everybody all of a sudden now her son was always at her awards. Her son and her were very close. She'd been on interviews talking about her son, and her son was always there. And she was married to Ian Alexander Sr., who was her music director, a music promoter. I don't know, promoter in I don't know the title, but he's somewhere in music something. Okay. So think he might have had something to do with the R. Kelly takedown too. Let me stop. Let me stop. Let me not even start no rumors, no start no shit. Okay. But I'm just saying, like, I never been that deep and personal with her life like that. So when they talked about her son and her having this mother and son relationship and how close she was with him, and them both getting tattoos and all that other stuff, I said, well, this was her son, or was this like her man? You know what I'm saying? Like, it was so bizarre. Like, okay, I understand people got love for their children and all that other stuff, but then it comes where you and your children have to make a separation and they have to live their life. You live your life. They want to be a part of supporting you in life and everything, then they can be supportive to you, whatever, at awards, things like that. But just everything that has to do with your life can't have to do with your children. That's what I'm saying. They have to live their own life, find their own way. And it was something that her and her son did together because he was going away to college, and that was their way to stay connected with the little tattoos, I guess. That was cute. That's what she probably was just doing the tattoo thing with him for, and sent him off to school or whatever, her son. I don't, maybe it was some other stuff going on in his life and never want to share it with his mother or share it with anybody. But being that they did stay in touch with each other, like texting, maybe calling, maybe some social media or whatever, maybe she could have seen some signs that something wasn't right about her son and asked him if everything is okay, if school is too much pressure for you right now, or if some of the things that's going on in my life right now affecting you, maybe we need to go and seek therapy and get some help for the both of us. So, things like that. Nothing it shouldn't nothing that should there should be no shame. Man, people always want to call me, but I'll get to that later. But there should be no shame if you feel something ain't right with your relationship with whoever, your child, your spouse, or whatever. I'm not ashamed. Me and my husband had to go through some counseling in the church, for some things that was going on in our marriage, some things that we weren't connecting with. And we needed to find how we wanted to save our marriage. Things that he wasn't listening to me about and things I wasn't listening to him about. And then there came a point where we had to bring in a mediator. We had to bring somebody there to hear both sides, to help us and counsel us through our marriage. And you go through those parts in your life. Even with your own children, you can go through that. That sometimes you doing things and you don't realize you doing something to bring harm to their self-esteem or doing harm to them. Or you might be as a child doing something to your parents and don't realize you doing it and you hurting them. Because sometimes you hurting people and you don't realize you hurting people unless you talk about it. And y'all all can put your feelings out there, both out your feelings out there. And I truly believe that there was there was some signs. It was some signs. So some people just be in denial. They in denial. Maybe from guilt, being ashamed. They say, I knew he was going to do it, and I know he said he was going to do it, and I knew that I should have listened more. And no, they not saying that. They saw something was wrong with their child, but they try to cover it up. Just like what happened last year, around sometime last year, with Kirk Franklin and his son. When Kirk Franklin and his son had this big thing that went on social media, okay, that his son got out there and put him on blast on social media about, and they had an argument, a disagreement, or whatever, and it was on social media, and his son put it out there for everybody to hear the conversation, and then on top of that, to hear how his father was cussing and talking to as a minister of music, and his father was up there, the man that's supposed to have been in walking with right with God. And I ain't saying Kirk Franklin wasn't walking right with God. And I think that that was where people misunderstood things. Is that was private between him and his father, and just having a private conversation, and it didn't have to be out there in the public. But sometimes you just got to do what you got to do so people can let people know that we are not a perfect family. Even though my father is in ministry of music or whatever, he have his breakdown moments as well. So in a kind of way, it kind of helped save Kirk Franklin in a way, and his family, and his reputation in a way, as not everybody looking up to him as this perfect man of God, and nobody make mistake. He don't make no mistakes as a father. He don't use no cuss words. He's so perfect, and da 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 da. And then he know he have issues going on in his relationship with his own children, and his son and him was having that thing. And then thank God that the mother of his son, she came forward to speak on some of the things that's been going on in the family, to get into the Christian community. You know what I'm saying? To the Christian, and I can't say it was for everybody to know and see where this family was in a dilemma, but it was for Christian people who know that we can relate. You know what I'm saying? Because You just heard me just say a cuss words, and I try to control it while I'm here on social media out here in the public and stuff. I do try because I don't know who's watching. Now I try to keep it like clean here with some of my words and don't want to cuss because I do read the Bible a lot and I do talk a lot about the Lord and about Jesus and everything. And God ain't about all of that kind of talking. You know, if I do it, I have to do it some kind of way where it won't be too ratchet. But at some point in this R. Kelly thing, oh boy, I was cutting up because it takes you there sometimes. It really does. So I'm just saying about the suicide and about mental illness and about these people with these dual personality disorders. And I'm saying Miss Clary does not need to be on social media. She do not need to even be on any interviews or anything. She needs to just stay quiet in her little world somewhere. I want to say quiet in her little world, but she should have her private life, period. Just don't have to be every time somebody call you to come on a platform, you have to be up there running your mouth and putting out information. Because to me, it sounds more like she putting her foot all in it. Okay, she's just putting her foot and don't even realize she's doing it. And I'm just saying it's to pull her coat. And she has been putting out a lot of nasty, malicious, hurtful things as far as around Robert Sylvester Kelly. Nobody wants to hear anything more about her, saying anything about him, or even just dealing with her anymore, because she just don't sound right. She just don't sound right. Mentally, she just don't sound well. And people will set you up, make you believe that, oh, we got you, girl. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Da, 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 da. But let me tell you, when that fall comes, they're gonna be like, I knew the bitch was a little lying ass bitch. She was a fucking, skanky ass. You're gonna hear the tone, you're gonna hear they switch up on your ass. So be careful for those who promoting you and saying that what you doing what's in the betterment of the people and the betterment of what you doing for to help women against abuse and violence and all that other bullshit. And young women who have been sexually abused, or younger women, older men manipulating young women, because there's a whole lot of damn manipulative fucking young women out here. Age ain't nothing but a motherfucking number. Just to prove to you what I'm talking about. In the classroom that I was observing, okay, with the after school program, the staff that are assigned in certain classrooms, and I was watching that they have some young interns that come to work with the children, you know, to interact with the children, to work with the kids and everything, and to assist the teacher. So, one of the young women, young, she's still in high school. She's only about, I would say, just turned 18. So, she's an intern. And then it was another young girl who was just there to volunteer to work with the after school program, but she was a minor. She was only 13 years old, but she was just there to volunteer because I think it was her auntie or somebody who is one of the administrators that was in the building. And she was just there volunteering and everything just to have something to do because she was there with her auntie. So she volunteered to work in the classroom with the intern and who was assisting the teacher. Now, the 18-year-old who's been in that classroom working and doing what she's supposed to be doing in that classroom with the teacher was doing nothing, practically fucking nothing. Sitting on a fucking cell phone, TikToking, doing whatever. And when the teacher asked her to go out and get certain things, material for her for the classroom, she looks at the teacher with a fucking attitude. And then started her little emotional bullshit, okay? Out in the hall in another with another one of the interns, her and the other intern talking when she was supposed to be going somewhere to go get what the fuck she was supposed to go get. But her little ass out in the fucking hallway with another intern, little young girl that's assigned to another classroom, and they having a discussion about what they don't like and got an attitude and rolling their eyes and talking. So I saw them, but I walked away. I just looked and I walked away, right? I ain't say nothing to the teacher. So when I looked back in the classroom and I saw the 13-year-old in the classroom, she was there actually interacting with the kids, doing the little art project with them, also sitting there with the children and everything, helping them with their writing, you know, fine motor skills and everything. She was just there really assisting the children and really doing her job. And then the teacher didn't even have to ask her to do anything when it came for when the children parents when they would call the kids on the walkie, like what child is being picked up right now. The young girl would go to the child's cubby, go help the child, assist the child to get dressed and everything else like that. Nobody had to tell a 13-year-old what the fuck to do or to interact or anything in that classroom with them damn children. But this 18-year-old who is in this study and internship, fucking funky attitudes, playing with a damn that young girl, the other young lady never pulled her phone out whatsoever during any of the time she was working in that classroom. I never saw that 13-year-old go to her phone. She had a phone, but that phone stayed in her back pocket. Never was it flipped out. While that 18-year-old sat there texting or walking out of the classroom, TikToking, whatever the fuck she was doing. But then gonna go cry and talk about she can't come back to the teacher don't want her back in there no more. And the teacher didn't even realize the other girl, she wanted the other girl. She's like, "Who's this young lady?" They sent her in there and everything. She only knew her name and she came to volunteer. That's how they introduced, but they did not tell her age. And then she said, "Oh, she can't work here. I'm sorry, but she's only 13. She was just only here to assist you and she was just here to volunteer." To be there to assist with the fucking 18-year-old who was supposed to been teaching her what to do and asking her to help her with the children. But the 18-year-old had his ass out there playing on the phone and talking to her little friend in the hallway and doing all kind of things she wasn't supposed to be doing and then getting that attitude. With the 13-year-old did everything with nothing but dignity and with class and really was enjoying being there and doing what no one had to ask her to do, but was just doing it on her own. So when I say age ain't nothing but a number, if it's in you to do something, you're gonna do it. If it's not in you, you're just not gonna fucking do it. Sometimes you just there just taking up, just don't know what the fuck you want, just there to be trouble or to block somebody else from being there that really wants to be there and can do the fucking job. Sure doesn't make you mature, Carolyn. And I'm saying, as far as with that little heifer, Miss AC, she was there because she wanted to be there. She was there because she was being, you know, she was going to use it to her advantage. She was an opportunist. She probably hounded her parents and everything, and she was running the show all the fuck along. Okay, she wasn't no fucking virgin before she got to be in that motherfucking place where she was hanging out, living in the Trump Taza and doing the shit she was doing. Okay? She was doing that shit long before Mr. Sylvester Kelly had her in his custody, in his care. She was even running the show there with him. Because he probably didn't know half of the shit was going on when he wasn't there. Okay? So don't get caught up on that age shit because I'm just sharing that because I saw the 13-year-old was doing what she was supposed to be doing without even being asked and told to do anything. And while the 18-year-old was asked to do certain things, and she was just like attitude. in some place where she wasn't supposed to be, and not supposed to even be using any cell phones and devices when you're supposed to be working. Oh, I reported that ass. Now we trying to decide whether we gonna keep her or get rid of her. They're trying to decide. I'm not. I said, well, I don't mind keeping her, but she gonna get. We gonna have to. Because I'm just like gonna be there to make sure she. I don't want to get rid of her. I would like to work with her, but it's up to her if she wants to be there, and she's going to have to do what she is supposed to be doing. Exactly. And she did such a wonderful job. And I just said that to Monday, I want to give a card with a little gift card or whatever like that for her, something to Chick-fil-A or something, just a little $25 gift card, whatever, just to say thank you. You know what I'm saying? To encourage her. Because she was really doing a great job. And she was doing this with on volunteer time servicing these children. While that other one getting fucking paid and just got out there with her fucking little cell phone. That's what I said, Carolyn. I don't know whether we're gonna try to retrain her, and I think that's what's gonna have to happen because I don't just want to throw her away like so quickly. I want to know if she really wants to be there before I throw her ass out the door. No, sometimes you want to give people another chance. You know what I'm saying? You do. Because I'm not. I'm just not the teenage person. I'll tell you in a minute. The only age I will go through, maybe I can work with someone at the age at this generation. The way children are being raised today is totally different. So the most age at my age that I can deal with any young child, I don't do teenagers. I really don't. I don't even fuck with them in my family, and I'm just gonna be quite honest. I don't fuck with them. Okay? But I'm giving her a chance. I reported her. She was spoken to. Now they're deciding whether or not they want to keep her intern there, and especially in that classroom. They might want to move her over to the older kids, which are the kindergartners, because I'm not with the kindergartners. I oversee the pre-K children. Okay, I could deal with them up to about 5 years old, but I don't do teenagers. I just don't fuck with. And people were wanting me to go to the higher grades, the higher numbers, and I told them I can't do them. I won't have a job. I'm trying to play safe. Oh, you could probably work. No, no, I can't work with that age group. Hell to the no. No, 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 no. Because I'll be in jail. Either I'll be in jail or I'll be dead. Because these kids today do not like to take constructive criticism. They don't. Everything is too easy for them. Hmm. They more exposed to a lot more shit than I was when I was their age. And their way of seeing things today is totally different from the way I saw things. We had to use our head. We had to use the strength of our heart. We had to fucking listen. Oh, we did our shit, but we couldn't do that shit so openly and boldly in front of other people. Today they do it all bold in front of you. It's certain things that just wasn't tolerated as a teenager when I was coming up. And my time is like what? When I was a teenager, they fucking grown. I was watching the paternity court thing, and this little girl, she couldn't know which one of her baby daddies was, but come to find out, she was in a damn threesome in a Vanage a Trois. What the fuck I know about a damn Vanage a Trois at 18 years old? Never knew nothing about that shit. And even if it was going on, I didn't know about it. It was never in front of me. It was never something people even spoke openly about. Today, they don't give a fuck. They sit up there and tell you about a damn Vanage a Trois. I don't know nothing about no Menage a Trois at 18. Oh, that's nasty to me. Straight up. Today, oh, people just want to explore with their sexuality. You explore with your sexuality with a boy and a girl. I don't know nothing about me and two girls and a boy having sex. Or me with two men having sex. They do too much out here. These fucking young people out here, they into a lot of shit. That's why you got to be real careful with them. And I try to protect myself. At least at that age, I can save them. You know what I'm saying? I can save them. There's a chance for them. But them damn older ones, them teenagers and shit, they done been out there doing a whole lot of shit. And then you got to look at the way the size of these kids are today. Okay? I got 5-year-olds in my classroom that look at least 8 years old. Mm. So you just got to really be careful. Dealing with these demonic little somethings that's coming up here, they don't know who the hell they are. When I was 5 years old, I knew my home address, I knew my phone number, I knew I knew my grandmother's phone number, I knew my auntie phone, I knew everybody's damn phone number in case I got lost. These are kids today. I knew my parents, both of my parents, first and names. I knew that about my parents. I knew you ask some of these kids, what's your mother's name? They couldn't even fucking tell you. They don't even know their name. What do your name mean? AIDS ain't changed nothing, Carolyn. People ain't scared. They ain't scared of no AIDS. They ain't scared of none of that. They ain't scared of no AIDS. They ain't scared of no COVID. The majority of people out here that ain't vaccinated is teenagers. I ain't fucking with that shit. That COVID, but some of them might take the COVID shot just so make it a narcotic. Everything become a narcotic to them anyway. They out here doing drugs that I never even heard of. Fentanyl is real heavy out here now with young people. Fentanyl, they so into that stuff, popping a Molly and all that other stuff. I don't know nothing about no popping, no Molly, no fentanyl, no nothing. Now I knew about heroin back in the days because I see them nodding out and look like they never hit the damn floor. They look like they just like all out of it. And that's the new thing now. A lot of young people are in that shit. They on that stuff. Fentanyl's on everything, even in marijuana. They don't narcotic everything. Everything became a narcotic now for them. They probably did get the COVID kit and everything, and then put some narcotic in there just so they could get high and start experimenting with it. Everything they try to do just to just not deal with the reality. And people keep making excuses for them. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody trying to now get one of those COVID testing kits and use it as an experiment to use it as a new drug. Mm-hmm. Especially when it's new. How you the hell you think heroin got here? It didn't just get here from people using it to get high. It was supposed to be to help some type of fight against, to numb certain people when they was in the military or something. This is a story I heard now. It was supposed to numb, like the soldiers and everything when they were going through, a battle with not being able to rest, sleep, whatever. It was used for something during the Vietnam War. During, wartime or whatever like that to numb the pain and everything else like that with the soldiers. If they was injured or whatever, some kind of thing. Now they don't turn that shit into a damn narcotic. Marijuana was probably it was supposed to have been used for some kind of cure or some kind of medicine to help and whatever, and it turned into an addiction. Opioids, right, Carolyn. Opioids or whatever the hell they use, opium, opioids. Yeah. And the same thing can happen with COVID vaccinations and stuff. People gonna start using that shit as a narcotic. A new marketing drug on the streets. Gotta be careful who get in the hands of certain things, because then, hey, mm-hmm. I'd never forget growing up in New York City, not to change the subject, and I'm just gonna say you how people can turn something that was meant for good into something evil. Um, the human mind is very powerful. It's very mysterious. This is something that you just science and everything else like that. People figure shit out, and sometimes it could just come out of them naturally. When I was in New York, the turnstile in New York and everything, the people that was like addicts and everything would know how to get you on the train without just give them the damn dollar or however much was the fare. Give it to them, and they knew how to trick that damn thing up and get you right on through for free. Well, you ain't getting on for free. You give them a quarter, whatever, they'll take that. You ain't getting on for free, but they know how to get you through. Hey, you got to pay $50. I mean $5. Just give me $2 and I get you through. And those crackheads knew how to work them turnstiles to make their money for they habits. Everything you invent, somebody know how to turn whatever was meant to me work for good into something evil. And just like I said, watch and wait. That's going to be a new narcotic on the street. Is that kit for the COVID vaccination? So be careful who gets in the hands of certain things, because they could turn that good stuff into something evil, something to cure a vaccination for people to not be infected with the COVID virus. So maybe you still could get COVID, but it just won't be so to the point where you have to be hospitalized. That's what the vaccination is supposed to be for. But somebody gonna make it a get high drug. Somebody gonna make it a new market out there on the street. Okay, Carolyn. Yep. Somebody gonna make that shit into drugs, and they gonna make it into something. Hey, you want some COVID? I got it for you, $5. You hit me up $5. They're gonna be selling on the street, and they're gonna be trying to get people high with it. You watch. It's gonna be the new legal, not legal, but it's gonna be something out there to. But anyway, y'all, let me get out of here and go upstairs and check and see what my husband's doing, because he's upstairs watching the games, sports. I wouldn't even say watching the game. He's just watching catching up on all the sports shit. Watching probably right now some college ass football or basketball or some shit like that. Saturday, he's home this weekend. Well, anyway, so and then that's why I'm down here to hide away. Yeah, but I may come back with y'all this evening. Let me see what I cook up. But I just wanted to just chit chat. It's a snowy day. I just wanted to talk about these women. I did a poll on who you think is the most malicious, evilest, um, trifling, and I just had to say it was the other one, because I really, when I've been listening to the both, I listen now more to Geronda now that everything is calmed down and stuff. But I haven't listened to her much. She's just really not somebody I really was paying too much attention, because everybody was so under attack with her. So now I'm trying to hear her more than what I heard from her before. So far, I really think she was just a damn character. She just was looking for some attention. And I think she's also like more free spirit. She's free spirit. Some people are like that. They free spirit. They go out there, they want to play or whatever way they can play, just all over the place. But I don't know. So anyway, y'all have a blessed, wonderful Saturday. And if God's willing, I may or may not come back with you this evening. Let me just see how how I feel in the afternoon. Okay, so you all be blessed and be safe and stay warm. Love you. Peace.